Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashan Yahweh, Ba'ashan Rakha. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashan Yahweh. And salutations to all you sincere actors that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. And once again, at the Hebrew Israelites coming in week in and week out to bring out 100% truth of the gospel, the 100% truth of the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh and Ba'asham Rakat Kodash, And today is a new month right now. According to Esau's calendar, that's the I forgot the name of the calendar, but basically the Gregorian calendar. It's a new month right now. That is the 2nd of September 2023. Okay, the hopeful year that we hope that all the prophecies that are written in the scriptures will come to pass. And well, it's already getting to the end of this year as well. And as you can see, a lot of things that have been happening through the spirit. And you see more of a push and more progress to biblical, you see more of biblical prophecy coming to pass, but more of a push and more progress going into the MOTB, that is the mark of the beast, right? Which is exactly what is the next major prophecy that we're waiting for to happen on the earth. So right now you have Esau even preparing to start to push this mark throughout the whole earth. And you know what the scriptures already say, that he shall cause, let's get that, that's in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. And it's funny that I have to start with this, but obviously we start with prophecy, because what are we going into as the meaning of the Lord? We are speaking about the prophetic events that the Most High Yahweh has given unto us to declare unto the people, and the things that are for to come, right? And let me see if I can get that precept. Are we things that on the letter? Hold on. Chapter 4. Here it is. Yeah, so this is the book of Isaiah 30, verse 8, and I also go to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. So let me start with this one first. Isaiah 30, verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever. And also in the book of Habakkuk 2, verse 1, and it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right, so what has been written already, the prophecies of the Most High Yahweh that has written for us to, that has been written down and given unto us to preach unto the people, to speak unto the people, to warn the people of, specifically this now, which is the next major prophecy that is about to come upon the earth. Revelation 13, verse 16. And no matter how much Esau Edom tries to shadow ban, tries to censor, tries to strike and block and come after this truth, at the end of the day, the word of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will still go forth the same way that it has been going forth throughout the whole earth. Okay, because the influence of what we are teaching is already clear on the earth. You can already see, when you hear these people in the world talk, they are watching videos about people that you don't even think that you would never even think have heard the truth. All these celebrities, all these popular streamers and YouTubers, these guys in the red pill and all that, and they'll be bringing out precepts that the men of the Lord are always going into, you always see them saying things that the men of the Lord are always saying. And that's because this word is going forth throughout the whole earth. Now this is the book of Revelation 13, verse 16. And it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And we are coming into those times, right? Or rather, that time, I said those times, that was past tense. But we are coming into that time right now, okay? Or rather, we're already in that time already, which these devils are about to push the mark of the beast upon the whole earth, because they're already hearing, different, these, the Chaldeans of this kingdom, right? These doctors and so on and so on. They're warning you about a new strain of you know what, right? They're warning you about possible lockdowns and different things like that. Telling you that you have to prepare yourself because something is coming next. So you know that you're already preparing the next crisis, the next crisis they're going to use to push their agenda. Which of course that's what Esau Edom needs now to push the MOTV, a new crisis. Okay, because now these devils work. They use the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. So the reason why, because you have some scoffers out there, right? It's June, that kind of thing. That's some scoffers out there that are saying, oh, we're talking about the MOTV, we're talking about the MOTV. 2023 is about to go out, but there is no sign of the eye mark of the beast, right? Going to having that second Peter the third chapter spirit that since the father as well, all things continue as they were, even to the end. But this they are ignorant of. Okay, aside from which of course is an important part, right? Point right here. So let me go to that. Second Peter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers. Second Peter 3, verse 3. I didn't even know that you could zoom into the precept in the blue letter. But Second Peter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High, Yahweh Basham Yahushai, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water. And the people of this kingdom really are ignorant of the fact that the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, created the heavens and the earth, which is basically what 2 Peter 3 verse 5 is going into, right? But the first part is important as well, that these people in this world, they are ignorant of many things, okay? The people of this world are very ignorant because you think that things are going and continuing as they are, right? Except it's not, because you have all these statistics to prove that things are harder, more difficult, and more and the worst they've ever been, right? Financially, financially it's already worse than even the 2008 Great Depression that everybody always talk, and then 2008 Slovakia, 2008 was not the Great Depression. 2008 was the financial crisis or something like that. I think it was a bank, something happened to the bank or something like that. But it's even worse than even the Great Depression as well. The prices of everything is going up: house, food, all the basic infrastructure you need in this kingdom. Imagine somewhere you have $20 for a dozen eggs. You know that's a and even I can see how much how ridiculous that amount is, because if $20 is roughly like uh, let's see, the same it's the same price even in Nigeria. No, $20 can get you, you know 3 dozen eggs in Nigeria, man. $20 can get you 3 dozen eggs in Nigeria. But to give an example of what let me not forget about that. Let me not even focus on exchange rate right now. But just that's just an example showing you how bad things are in this kingdom. But yet, the people of this world who just ignore all that, ignore all the complaining that they've been complaining. You see them every now and again. They'll go online. Oh, see y'all, it's really getting bad out here. I don't even know about surviving. Crying and all of that. But when the men of the Lord come out and say this is happening because it is the end of the world, right? This kingdom is about to fall, this kingdom is about to be destroyed. Oh, it's not that bad. Everything is okay out here, it's all good. That's how the people of this world think. We can't say that all things are continuing as they are when things are more difficult than it's ever been. The world is about to fall into, the entire planet is about to fall into collapse. Okay, things are, degrading. The whole world is degrading. Even the quality of life, right? Not just about the finances and living in this kingdom. Even just the quality of life, even just the act of living. When you are breathing in air, the air is polluted. We are trying to eat, right? The food is polluted as well. The food is not even actual food. The food has all kind of chemicals in it. Shout out to Monsanto, right? Yeah, that was not really Babylon the Great, but the food has all kind of chemicals in it because the pesticide that they use when they are growing the crops. Even the animals are already it's all done. This kingdom is through. Okay, and it is showing you just how bad this kingdom will get. And it's showing you just how bad things can really get in this kingdom because it has not yet gotten as bad as it can get. It's only going to get worse from here. Just like it got worse from 2021, it got worse from 2020. It keeps on getting progressively and progressively worse. And now these devils are about to start, really getting down to their plan because Esau Edom is already seeing the signs. And I did a video about that as well. Like Esau Edom is already seeing the signs that their kingdom is coming to an end. So they're about to go into that Revelation 12 verse 12 state where they will stop, where they will take off the kid gloves and start trying to do everything gradually and gradually, but just really show that they are the devil. And we're already reaching that stage because now you're seeing as the Esau Edom is getting exposed, right? These devils will now start getting more desperate. And as they get more desperate, the cornered rat, that kind of thing, they get more ruthless and they will start to just come down with all the wrath. Because what's happening on the earth right now, it's a process. Okay, that's why you see that the MOTB, the mark of the beast has not yet come to pass because this is a process. Certain amount of things must happen before the mark of the beast can actually come. So we'll start from the first one. That is the book of Second Thessalonians. And as much as the men of God have done to expose Esau Edom, right? But of course, these would have already been exposed because no matter how much they try to hide information, they try to hide the truth, they try to hide the information and try to censor the information, you know, and try to bring out their counter narratives, do their damage control in order to protect the image that they have created for themselves. Is it not written that no marvel for Satan is disguised as an angel of the light? I don't know why Second Thessalonians they just have to find this Bible. Okay, I found it. If I couldn't find it, I would have just gone to this my Bible on the phone. But this is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2, right? So this is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and Second Thessalonians chapter 2. You have to bear with me. The start anyway, Second Thessalonians 2. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right, and we're in those times right now where the man of sin is being revealed because the whole world is looking at the actions of a specific group of people, right? When you see, that when you see first and foremost the discrepancy. I don't know the exact word to use, but we see that there is a wealth imbalance. Yes, that's the best word. But there is a wealth imbalance. So you have 1% of the population have like what, the 80 or 90% of all the wealth on the earth. And when I say I'm not just talking about money, because when I'm talking about wealth, it's not about how much you have in the bank, but what everything that you have with you, everything that you have in your possession is worth. So it's not about actual money, but about wealth. That's in land, in assets, in precious, in all kinds of, basically appreciative, appreciative goods. In other words, products and things that generate value over time. Okay, and those things, which is all the wealth, right? All the assets in this kingdom are only 80 to 90% of it is for the 1%, and which might you'll be surprised because that's a major imbalance right there. where 80% of the wealth, 80% of the riches of this world is given to only 1% of the population. But then you find out that that 1% still wants 100% of the wealth, not just 80%, because it is a mark of the beast agenda that Esau Edom has, which is the RFID microchip, comes to pass. What you'll find out is that these devils will now have, it will go from 1% of the population having 80% of the wealth to 100% of the wealth. Okay, but now going back to what I was saying concerning the 1%, what you find out is that that 1%, majority of them are of a specific group of people, which is the so-called red man, the so-called white man that is ruling over the earth, Esau Edom. You can never going to find a Jake or even a Hamite itself in the 1%. That's something that you always, that's something that I always, yeah, that's whenever I get into arguments with all these Edomites online, I always talk about, like, if you want to say that, oh well, every fair is fair, Jake is having, Jake is able to gain success in this kingdom. Why is it that the 1% there is no Jake there? Because Esau don't always want to blame the Amalekites, saying, oh well, it's Amalek, it's the Jews that, it's the Jews this, Jews that. But yet, even in the one within the 1%, you still have Edomites there, right? Because allegedly the Rockefellers aren't actually Jews, okay? But you know that they are all still the same Edomites. But we know, you should already know how these devils operate. They're always trying to deflect, they're always trying to lie and deceive in order to keep, to keep their kingdom, to keep their power, which is why the scriptures say, through unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one person to another, because that's exactly how Esau Edom got his power. In his media, right, in his movies, he will show you that, oh well, we were just better, we were just stronger, right? We had guns, this and that, they had guns after they conquered the nation, that we came in with our guns and with our superior military tactics, which is false, right? Whether it's how Esau Edom conquered the natives, or how Esau Edom conquered Jake in West Africa, or how Esau Edom conquered the heathen as well, okay? Not just Europe and not just Babylon the Great, America and Europe, the Spanish and the conquistadors, but also the Romans and the Greeks as well. The tactics that they use are those underhanded tactics, right? Which is basically putting Jake against, putting Jake against Jake, dividing people, right? Dividing people, putting Jake against Jake, and using them sellouts, and using sellouts and all kinds of underhanded and war tactics in order to gain, in order to defeat the people, right? In order to conquer the people. And you can see a great example of that in the book of First Maccabees, right? You had the Maccabees, Judah and Judah and the Maccabees and his brothers and Jake was kicking Esau's ass, kicking the Greeks, the Greeks. I think it was both Ptolemy and the Seleucids at that time. And what did they do? They set the Maccabees up. They set Judas up. They set up, I think it set both Judas and Simeon up. They made Judas go into a, you know, they lied to Judas about how they wanted to make peace, and Judas believed them because, well, I can understand that. I'm gullible like that too. If you are kicking somebody asking talking about peace, you want to go and you're like, okay, because at that time, okay, at that time, it wasn't meant for Jake to gain the victory. So Esau was able to put the wool over people's eye because, for the most part, Jake was not aware of who Esau Edom is. In other words, the deceiver, right? Which is the devil, the false accuser. Because the power of Esau Edom, aside from the sword, he does have superior weaponry. But what's the point of having superior weaponry if you are too cowardly to use it? Okay, because as much as the Edomites talk about how they're going to go gun ho, they love their guns and everything. Most of these Edomites can't actually shoot, right? Because it's always they're always because you ever notice that Esau always shoots at targets that are running away, or targets that are staying still, right? You don't hear about Jake getting shot by the police. It's either they were staying still or they were running away in a straight line. Easy targets. Esau never hits moving targets, or Esau never even hits targets that are going to shoot back, right? It's different to hit somewhere that isn't moving or can't attack you. and it's different to hit a target that is actually shooting back at you. But that shows you the cowardice of Esau Edom. I didn't even want to go deep into that because we should focus on I want to focus on the Bible prophecy, the things that are happening right now. But even the cowardice of Esau Edom, right, is still a part of Bible prophecy. So continuing on, Second Thessalonians 2, hold on. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, all that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High, seated in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Once again, another thing that Israel has done, because he has put himself in the place of the Most High, not just the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, but also Yahweh and the angels as well. That's why you see, you know, every church you go into, right? You always see a picture of Cesare Borgia. And even here in India, so you have some churches out here, because where I am right now is where, the British first came, the British first came through when they came into India, church gates. So there are a lot of churches. So there are a lot of churches out here. Even a Catholic church, I usually pass by it when I'm moving around here. Okay, and it's all Edomites, right? Because one of the other excuses that Israel will give when you see um JC can be anybody, because the Indians have a Indian JC, the Chinese have a Chinese, that kind of thing. But that's actually false, because no matter where you go on the earth, all the images of Jesus Christ, right? JC. You just use the right word, JC. You can already know what JC means. But all the images look exactly the same, and they look just like Cesare Borgia. They look just like that wicked demon, man. That wicked demon. But anyway, continue on. And that's what these devils. That's how these devils operate. That's exactly what they did, right? That's exactly what they did. The Ilamians, they're working their tongues right now. But that's exactly what they did. They use their images to replace the correct images, the true images of the Most High and the Son. That's why all the oldest images of the Israelites, of Jake, going back to the Middle Ages, right? Going back to when Jake was still in power, like the 12th century, before the Renaissance, all the pre-Renaissance images of the apostles, of our Lord Yahushai, of the early churches, it's always Jake that are on them. That's what those Russian icons are about, because they were made because most of the images on the Russian icons are made like 11th century, 10th century, really old images of really old paintings and mosaics, showing you that, during that time, before Esau came into power and he replaced the images. Okay, that's going into Job 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and they cover the faces of the judges thereof. That's going into Job 9 verse 24. That even during that time, that before Esau Edom came and changed images during the Renaissance, right? That Jake was in power. When Jake was in power, of course they used the correct images. But now you have these devils putting himself in the place of the Most High. So let me get that. Let me get the place of that as well. That is Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. Because this is the ultimate goal of Esau Edom. And anybody that knows anything about these Edomites, whether you want to call them Edomites or you want to call them so-called, white people, anybody that knows anything about them knows that this is what these devils are after. Let me get that. Here it is. So this is the book of Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? And that right there is showing that when we talk about Lucifer, another one of the seat of Esau Edom. Because these devils, they know, okay, they know that they are the Lucifer that the Bible speaks of. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because they read through the scriptures and see the characteristics of the devil and realize that they fulfill all those characteristics. Because Lucifer did not weaken the nations, Esau Edom did. Now you might ask, how did Esau weaken the nations? Well, you have your colonization, right? You have straight up captivity, And of course, to the destabilizing that they're doing to the government of the earth to this day. That's why you're seeing all these coups happening in West Africa. And that's why, these Edomites are so against it. That's why you're seeing, that's why all the nations where our people are in, case in point, Venezuela, okay, that's why they are at the bottom. They are in poverty. That's why the poorest nations are nations that, are nations that are predominantly Jake, because that is the weakening of the nations right there. Esau Edom, sent out his economic hitmen, right, to make sure that none of these nations can prosper. They destabilize the nation by um, putting in that there are so many ways to do it. I'm trying to figure out the best way, but they destabilize the nation by destroying the economy, making, by making the economy weak. Now you can exploit the resources of that nation. So the people of that nation can't even enjoy their own resources, but they are sending it all to you. That's what was happening with all these West African nations and France, and even and even my country as well, Nigeria, even India here. There are all these nations that are still under Esau Edom, right? They are still under the rule of Esau Edom, which is why it will be so easy for these devils to push the MOTB on you people out here. But anyway, let's get back into the precepts. Let's just sit down with this thing. All right. Isaiah 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will also, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. And that's exactly what Esau Edom has done, because in the northernmost part of the earth, it's filled with devils, okay? It's filled with Esau Edom. The northmost part of all over the earth is filled with Esau Edom. But also the north can also represent, the fat of the earth. Now was all the richest parts of the world. I can see it's actually a dog that just passed that passed right now. Keep hold of the camera and everything. Now you can see. That's the dog right there. No, but it's all good though. Let's just continue. Dogs in India are actually pretty chill. In Nigeria, man, yeah, dogs in Nigeria are actually wild. They will shout, they'll bark, and that's actually they'll be chasing you as well. But dogs here in India are chill. But anyway, continue on. That's what I was saying. And the north can also represent the fatness of the earth. That's the richest part of whatever nation that these devils are in. Which is why this is actually one of the richest parts of India right here. And you see Edomites everywhere, okay? And you will see Edomites everywhere. You barely see Jake. This isn't really the part of India that Jake's live in, because the Jakes are in a different part of India, not really in the slums or the hood or anything like that, but they're in the poorer parts. But this is where you see it's filled with Edomites, all kinds of expensive apartments and buildings. Food out here is hella expensive, man. Food is ridiculously expensive here. Everything here is expensive. But anyway, it's just it is. It's what it is. Just the spirit has they come out here, you know, for whatever reason. But it's all for the building up of the gospel, for the preaching of this truth. We are continuing on. Isaiah 14, verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's ultimately the goal of Esau Edom. They want to be the Most High. They want to be gods over the earth as well. Even though they cannot accomplish such a thing. That is not written. The pride of that. Let me continue. That should be Obadiah. That should be Obadiah. Obadiah 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right now, Esau Edom is in that power. They are already in the heavens, okay? Which is basically they are in the power, they are in the rulership. But Let's continue the verse. Isaiah 1, I'm just start here. Just a little excited. Because now these devils are high up, they are puffed up, they are thinking nobody's going to be able to take them down. They are in their power, they are in their rulership, so nobody can do anything to them. Obadiah 1 verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, then will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So even if Israel goes into space, right, and builds their quote unquote moon colony, you know, even though they actually can't. But even if they do, at the end of the day, the most high, Yahweh Shan Yahushai will still bring them down. That's what the scriptures say. That's what the scriptures say. Those that exalt thyself as the eagle, which is exactly what Esau Edom has done. Because the other Malcolm posted a video, posted a picture in his community post, you know, where you have all of the coins that are used in Edomite kingdoms, Greece, Rome, and the America as well. And you can also do the same thing for Great Britain, you know, for Germany and various other, you know, Edomite kingdoms. And you will see the same comparison. Where you have an Edomite face on one side, right? Whether it's Julius Caesar, you know, whether it's Alexander the Greek, or whether it's George Washington. And then on the other side, you see an eagle. Because this is what these devils use to represent themselves. They see themselves as the eagle, right? Basically soaring the sky, keeping its nest and the highest things in the highest places, which is why you have the ancient home of the Edomites being Mount Seir, and you have the modern day home of the Edomites being all these high-rise apartment buildings. You know, look at that one right. I'm trying to point to. Yeah, that one right there. Then you see right there. That's a and you see all these kind of buildings all over the place here in India. High, you know, ridiculously high buildings, 10 stories, 11 stories. You know, Tiaki are living in Babylon the Great. That might not be that high, but in Nigeria, man, you don't have anything higher than 5 stories in Nigeria, or maybe in the major cities. But those buildings are very successful. You know, those buildings always, you know, have some kind of collapse, some kind of failure of the construction, some kind of infrastructure failure, you know, fires easily. Those buildings are very it's very easy for those buildings to collapse. Okay, that's why you're not supposed to build all these ridiculously high, you know, multiple story buildings. But that's how Esau Edom operates, you know, living in the whose habitation is high, right? I think that's around here. Yeah. I've already read that part. Whose habitation is high as the scripture says. But continuing on, going back to the book of Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Okay, showing you that Lucifer isn't a spirit or an angel that did this and did that. All kinds of Catholic fables, you know. Nowhere in the scriptures has it ever said that there was an angel that rebelled. It never even said there was a rebellion in heaven. It said there was a war in heaven, not a war in heaven, right? Michael and his angels and the dragon that is going to Isaiah. Sorry, not Isaiah. I don't know why Isaiah is on my mind so much right now. Revelation 12 verse 10, the war in heaven. And if you read those precepts, you find out that the war in heaven is actually going into you know, our Lord Yahushua fighting against the armies of Esau, Edom. And of course, Esau can't put that, you know, Esau can't use that as a breakdown. Because that basically shows that these devils are the enemy of the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahushua. And that's why you see vocab, you know, and these Kwakitaki Christians so gung-ho, so eager to try to debunk the Hebrew Israelites that they grasp at straws. You know, okay, because Goka will find anything to use, any occasion to slander the Hebrew Israelites. He'll find anything to use. And if he hears about, you know, if he hears that, you know, if he hears that you know, maybe a brother was just walking down the street, okay, went to throw some trash in the bin, right, in the dustbin in the trash, and I think that instead of going into the trash, or maybe the trash was full, because now all these public waste bins get now, the trash will be the trash will be full. So when you throw it inside, it might just might just fall out because the trash is already it might just fall out because the trash is already full and overflowing. And look, will start saying, "Oh, look at that, Hebrew Israelites don't care about the environment. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! They are littering." You'll find any occasion. It's not in the scripture that said that, you know, because there's actually a law in the scripture that said that, that if you want to, that's another thing. That's another topic right there. What if you want to go, if you want to, go out in public, if you want to use the bathroom in public, right? Say you want to take a piss or you want to, do number two, then you'll be too vulgar that you have to go with a shovel so you can dig the earth and, bury the excrement, because as the scripture say, and the Most High is walking. Is it right here? So this is the book of Deuteronomy 23. Deuteronomy 23. Okay. Deuteronomy 23, verse 12. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad. And thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon. And it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back, and cover that which cometh from thee. So basically, you have to have a paddle or a small shovel. You need to dig the earth. If you want to, ease yourself, pass the excrement, that kind of thing. You dig the ground, you do what you got to do, you do what you got to have to do in that hole, and then you bury it back. Okay, and this is the reason why. Deuteronomy 23, verse 14. For Yahweh thy power worketh in the midst of thy camp to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. Right. And the reason why you do that is to keep, is to keep, is to keep everywhere, is to keep the camp clean, right? To keep the environment clean, because um, I have to say that this shit pool, right? Is the shit and pool. It attracts diseases. It attracts all kinds of animals that can cause diseases. Okay, so it's better to bury it in the earth where basically low tier manure, that kind of thing. I don't really want to go deep into it because I have to branch into something else. What we're focusing on right now is the fall of Esau Edom that is coming, because majority of the people of this world, and the rain is starting to drizzle. But you know what the scripture says in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, and these are the power to shut heaven, that it rain not during the day of their prophecy, right? That's what I was saying. Just like it says in the book of that I was saying, wait a minute. The majority of the people of this world, majority of the people of this kingdom, because they have been blinded, right? Don't want to accept as Esau Edom is the devil. It's not that they're refusing the fact. Oh, they know. But once you come out to them and say, this white man is the devil, they'll say, yeah, the white man is the devil, the white man is the devil. The white man is, they now go and say, the so-called white man is Esau Edom. Whoa, brother, let's be merciful now. That the people of this world, that shows that Jake is blinded. Because as soon as you say, because there's something that you tell Jake that Jake will agree with. But once you bring out the scriptures, right, suddenly, suddenly our people don't want to, our people don't want to listen anymore. They don't want to hear you. Now Jake wants to talk about something else. Jake wants to try to change the subject. They want to try to deflect. That shows you that there is a stumbling on on two-thirds of our people. Because majority of Jake, because if you really want to go into it, majority of our people will agree with the doctrines of our teaching. You know, majority of Jake already agree that a man can have more than one wife. Majority of Jake already agree that, Esau Edom is the devil, or they'll say the so-called white man is the devil. Majority of Jake already agree that, or at least they have an idea, or I believe that, that we are under captivity in this kingdom, right? When you bring out the scriptures and show them where in the scriptures where all these things are prophesied to happen, that's when like the deaf adder, right? They stopped their ears so they will not hear the voice of the charmers charming, ever never so wise as it's beating. And that shows that truly there is a stumbling upon our people, right? You know that spirit of stumbling is upon them. Basically, the spirit of, you know, I don't know how to put it, but I don't really know how to put it. So let me just get the precept. That should be the book of Romans. I hope nation doesn't fall too much. That should be the book of Romans. This guy has been looking, this guy has been looking, how do you say it in scriptures? Dark and dreary, you know, those Pharisees, hypocrites, because you can discern the sky. Let me not start looking let me not start trying to remember that. So this is the book of Romans 11, verse 8. According as it is written, the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. And that table, of course, being this, that table, of course, being this word, this truth. That's why the scriptures say, write this word upon a table, right? That is also going into that is Habakkuk, the second chapter that I read, and also I think it was Isaiah 30 verse 8. I read those two precepts, and I read those two precepts, and it was talking about the same thing. You know, write these words and put it upon a table that that the people can read it. And the words of these scriptures are a major stumbling upon our people, upon Jake, as the so-called Israelites, the so-called Negro sucker. Yeah. That's you Israelites, not you so-called Israelites, okay? But you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American and Seminole Indians, and our people that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Because yeah, I've seen some jakes that look like Elamites, okay, around here. You know, you find out that you can actually kind of tell, you know, you can actually kind of tell through the spirits, and even through the spirits who is and who isn't Jake, right? Because the Elamites work, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but like Elamites work different than Jake does a lot of the times. A lot of time. A lot of times, you know. So I look at someone and I'm like, this guy, you can just look at him and be like, there's something different about this guy's spirit. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like the people that are out here. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay. But I thought my phone had already had shut down. Had shut down, but it's still on, it's still on, it's still on. So we are still on. Alright, please read about your machine yourself. Okay. So continue on. You know, right now, you know, so anyways, as I was saying, continue on. You know what the scripture is saying in the book of Baruch, the fifth chapter. You know, it's something I've been meditating on since I got here. Exalt his name among the heathen. You know, any of the places where the Most High has scattered you. But you know, even now, this is me being out here in the land of the heathen. When you have a country that is majority heathen, right? That is the Elamites, which are the Indians. West Indians, East Indians, South Indians. For the most, for the most part, of course, majority of them are Indians because you have other nations that are scattered among here as well. Like I said, Jakes, for example, and also um, Esau as well. And you know one of the things that I realized, coming out here is just how small, right? Or rather, just how big this world really is. That's how big just this earth alone is. One of the things I realized when I moved to India, because this city that I'm in right now, this state, in fact, the state of India that I'm in right now, is far bigger than my country, Nigeria. You know, I never realized just how small Nigeria really was until I moved to India. Just this Mumbai alone is massive, man. It's bigger than just this area that I'm in, this Churchgate area. You know, roughly from where I'm at right now, all the way to the coast, right? End of the to the end of this area, this Colaba. Just this area alone is already as big as Lagos. You know, the city that I'm living, the city in Nigeria I'm living in. It shows you just how big this world really is, man. Because you never really understand how big this world is until you start moving around. You know, you start traveling up and down and seeing the world for yourself. Which of course I didn't actually want to do. You know, this whole thing just happened because of my family members illness. That's the only reason why I'm out here right now. Now I would prefer to be doing all the traveling during the kingdom. That's the best time to do it when the world is actually in its perfection, in its beauty. Where you can see the true beauty of the world. But you really realize just how small the something not small, but how large the world, just this earth alone is. And so you have even larger worlds than this, even larger planets than this that the men of the Lord will have, that Jake will have in the kingdom. Because the promises that are in the scriptures, you find out it's not just for the elect. Okay, of course, the elect will inherit a major portion of that inheritance, but the inheritance in the scriptures is for all of our people, all of the nation of Israel. Because at the end of the day, even two-thirds will receive a crown. Just that the crown of the elect will be bigger than the crown of the two-thirds, and the inheritance of the elect will be bigger than the inheritance of the two-thirds. But that's the thing. Even with that said, the inheritance that the most wicked, the most demonic to third will receive in the kingdom is already too much, man. It's already too much, you know, in my opinion at least. Now, we that are in this truth. We're not really after the material things too much. We're all humble, trying to be as minimalistic as possible, right? You can't even so what we receive in the kingdom what we will receive in the kingdom is already something I can't even fathom. Let me not even think about it too much. Let me just focus on the precepts and the prophecies. When that time will come, it will come. The thing that we should be focused on right now isn't, you know, the rewards of the kingdom, but rather the prophecies and the prophecies and enjoying to the end to actually get to that kingdom. Okay, so right now, it's about bringing out the word of the scriptures, about bringing out the prophecies of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahshai. It's trying to calm down out here, but it isn't that bad just yet.